Hello, hi, it's Liz here, and today we are going to work on the new journal for the Professor. It's normally mixed media on a Monday, but I just couldn't wait. A few days ago, I finished off the journal, sewed in the signatures that you saw in the first video about this journal, and finished off the front, stitched around the front pieces and stuck them on, and stitched the whole journal together. So let's have a quick flip through. I've got my little notes here about the Professor. He's all about the maps. He was using a passport until YouTube didn't like that. He uses an old journal, which is this, to keep a record of his travels, and yeah, and that's a bit of a backstory, which we will eventually incorporate into the journal. That's just for me just now, just to remind me to tell you that. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how the front came together. I stitched around all the pieces and stamped out his name and whatnot. So yeah, so it's really quite grungy and quite tactile. I wanted it to be like that, and just kind of old looking. So I've gone through and I've stitched, before I sewed the signatures in, just with a simple, let me get the middle, a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and the middle is here. So just a simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch in and out, and just tied a simple knot. It's embroidery floss I used, just because that's what I had to hand. So yeah, so I've gone through and I've also stamped using my coffee stain and a little stamp that I don't have, it's abandoned, it doesn't even have a packet, neither do these. Coffee stained, because obviously an old journal like this would be all coffee stained and grunged up the edges. So I went round the edges with, it's here, vintage photo. It doesn't matter if you use oxide or the normal one. Well, I don't think it matters anyway. It still gives you the same effect. So you'll see that popping up every wee while. What I did, I also added some tabs just with pieces of the faux leather that I used for the cover. So there's some nice tabs, just roughly sewn, nice and frayed. I also stitched down all the pockets that were in the journal, stitched round the edges so that it made them real pockets. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's mainly map pages and pages from, that's that little stamp that gives you kind of just, I suppose, dirty marks, for want of a better, just like splodges a little bit. Yes, and old stamp album. This middle one opens up like that. It's an old weather chart. There's quite a lot of pockets, so we'll be able to fill them up nicely with bits and bobs that he's kept, his tickets and his postcards and things, and nice big pocket there and another one there. As like I say, there's just loads of pockets. And then of course there's his wallet at the back, which we haven't done anything with yet. I'm keeping that just now. We will make some sort of identity card or something with this. And this is his compass. We'll do something with these, and we'll do something with the wallet at another time, but not today. Today I just want to make an easy quick start and just add some bits and bobs to the pages. But the first thing I want to do is get a tied closure, and I've just got this cord which just kind of tones in a little bit, and I've got my bag of beads which has these wooden beads which have got nice big openings. I really kind of wanted to use these, but the cord wouldn't go through, well, wouldn't go through easily. So I'm sticking with these wooden ones. I think, and see, they've got tiny holes as well. I don't have anything else that's got bigger holes. No. Anyway, we'll see how we go with these. Might just put one on each end. Or two. That's a more oval shaped one. Like these two, because that looks like it's kind of little bits of map or stamps. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go through and tie a knot. I think one, or do we want to? Maybe two. And we'll just tie a knot at the end to keep them on, hopefully. Because we can sort of say that these beads were gifted to him during his travels. And then if we put another knot here, that will stop them just being unruly. Does that tie a knot if I do that? Oh, I don't know what's happened here. Yeah, there we are. Kind of a double knot, but that's okay. That looks actually quite good. And if we do the other end, this one's frayed a wee bit, but that's okay. Yes, what could we say? That the beads, because we're allowed to make up stories about this guy. That's the whole point, isn't it? Now, if we put that through, there we are. Yeah, so we could say that the beads were gifted to him by a lady that he met in his travels or something like that. So if we double that round and then just maybe put it through there and then, I don't know, we'll come up with something. Maybe it needs a wee double knot. Yeah. That's quite cool actually. I quite like that. It suits it. Yes, maybe he met a lady on his travels and they had to say goodbye in a far-flung place, and she gave him the beads and made him this for his journal. And every time he opens and closes it, he thinks of her. We'll need to think of her name. Right, so we can put that aside for now. And let's start. We've got a bundle of things here. So this we got from our notes, which was his favourite quote, "A map need not be accurate to be true." So I've stamped it out. Oops. I've stamped it out on, remember I showed you this Stamperia pad called Around the World. So I cut out some of the postcards from this page. There was a second page of postcards. Where are they? They're here. So we've got a whole host of postcards from the Stamperia and a couple of little bits of ephemera. There's also a little envelope that I'm still to glue down. Yeah, so there's this, which is what his favourite saying is. I've got a couple of old map pieces, these envelopes, and some postcards and bits and bobs. So what I want to do today is just add some bits throughout the journal. And I've also got this bit of newspaper, which I thought here, notes and questions on travel, we'll maybe get that bit out there to use. Okay, so, oh, and there's this. Look at this. Ooh, how clever is that? So that's a 6" by 6", and you fold it diagonal, and then across the middle, and then it gives you like something without those bits, like that. It gives you that, and then you tuck those bits in and those bits in. And so we'll stick that on a page like that, and it opens up. That's clever, isn't it? So there's that. Let's stick down our little envelope. See if we can get along the edges. Just there. In fact, that's hardly meeting there. I think what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of washi tape. Because we want things to be quite grungy looking. What would be a good one to use? A wee narrow one. Or a bit of one. Let's use this. And we'll just get this envelope finished off. There. So that can go somewhere. Right, but first of all, let's find a place for his saying. I think it should be near the front. Also, do we want to put it in to something or onto something else? There's this. But then it wouldn't be unless we cut that down. Let's tear it down so that it still makes it nice and grungy looking. Ooh. That's quite... I think the good thing about this journal is nothing needs to be straight. Because we're making out that it's quite old. Okay. Now, yeah, that's quite good. And we could actually then make that a pocket. I don't want to cover up that map on the front page. I think we'll do that. It could be 2 pockets, but I think I'm just going to glue the whole thing down onto there. And it just gives it a little bit more oomph. We'll keep that bit kind of torn. There's another tear there. Right, now we've got our pen. I think we'll just we could take it to the sewing machine, but I think what we'll do is we'll use, so this is VersaFine Vintage Sepia, and I'll just get a little acrylic block. And that will just merge that in with that. Let me just get that to stamp on. Okay. That's the glue stick. Luckily enough it rolled to under the chair. Let's put it over there. Right. So I think we'll put that there and make it a pocket. I am going to use double-sided tape because this is quite strong, and if it's going to be a pocket, the glue stick might not necessarily hold a pocket if we're going to be pushing things in and out. So I will just use double-sided tape. So yes, that's holding nicely. So, do we want something in there that we've already got here? What about we put a map these little pieces. Okay, we'll do that, but what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of work on these. So they're going to go in like that and like that. And I have some stamps. I think we'll use this one. This is Travels from the Past, CS340, quite appropriate. Oh, and I've already got a few pieces stamped. Take them out. Maybe that. So that's going in that way. I could put that there. Could put that there and that there. Maybe just these little numbers, just to stamp over. Once we have stuck them down. So we'll stick these down. So we're just kind of building up just to try and make it look like it is something rather than just something we've cut out of a book. Can't really see it in that, but that's better. Yeah. Just kind of double layers it up. And maybe we want some script on that as well, because the professor is forever writing notes. On random pieces. There. So we have something for this little pocket, which we can just kind of, yeah. What do you think? Oh, sorry, I'm knocking you. Happy with that. Okay, what else have we got? Oh yes, we've got our fancy map. Let's put this somewhere. We put it on the weather charts. And do we want something else on the weather charts? I like it on the weather charts. Does it need something else? I've got some newer kind of Project Life little cards. Maybe another map. So if we put that on, that could be, this is going to just be covered in pockets, isn't it? I think we'll do that. I think we'll stick it on there and on there. Do we want that to be a pocket with a little... Or we could put the little envelope in there. Might be too bulky. That old map page is quite fine. Let me see. I've got my box of things here. So I've got these old cigarette cards. I hope you're far enough up that you can see. I've got, oh, and I've got these old menus. I don't think there's really anything small yet. That's just bits of leftover pieces. Nothing there yet. We'll keep that for another day. Oh, there's two of those cigarette cards. No. I think maybe we'll just put another one of the postcards in. Or do we really even want it to be a pocket? Do we want to put it up there? Put that there. And then just collage it up with things. We could rough this up, make it look old. And then we've got that opening up. I think we'll do that. Okay, decision made. Let's move everything else out of the way and get these stuck down. And once we've started, this is just making a start, but I think once we've started and it's got a few bits of decoration in, we'll start to write out some of these stories and yeah, some of his travels. We'll make up some bits and bobs. Right, the first thing we need to do is do some, oh, excuse my arm stretching. Just a quick roundy edge of this. There we are. And maybe round this too. I'm never one hugely for roundy edges with the inkiness, but in this circumstance, I think it's a good idea because we're trying to make something look old. We'll give it a wee coffee stain. Yeah. I think we'll put a number on it as well. Just keep using this little number. Oops. It's upside down. We won't concern too much. Obviously, the professor gave it to the person to get. In fact, we're going to, I should have stamped it up higher. There. That was going to get covered anyway by this little thing that shows lots of different dials and things. Don't know what that's from. It says it's a totalizer. He's picked it up in his travels. Okay, and then this is going here. That's fine. So, can you believe it's another sunny day here? So this morning we had to go out for some messages. We did dog food and stuff. Just normal supplies. So, out to the supermarket. And our washing machine has gone on the blink. So there's a local repair shop because the little error code said that it was some sort of blockage in the pump. And when we went on to YouTube, it said that that should be easy fixed by you just take the part out, you put the part in, and you could probably do it yourself. Well, no, because we are not in any way going to take a washing machine or pull anything out or push anything in. It's just not happening. Whoa. That's good. Oh, I'm liking that. We could stamp something here. Let's find something. Was there anything else on that? here. There's that. What other sets have I got here? I've got the other one. I'm not sure that any of that fits. I've got this. Let's see. I could maybe put this on. So this is etc. CMS 302. And I've got the other two sets that have in fact, I think I'm going to take this check number luggage. This is eccentric CMS 448. I had to put this in a new wallet because it was falling apart. What about that? Yeah, we'll have that. That won't stick to that. We'll just use a little bit of glue stick. We stamp it boldly with the black this time. Yeah. And this caught my eye, these dates here, maybe down the side here. It's a lost cause, trying not to get inky. I think we'll do the black again. Oh, neighbour's dog. And of course this is on a bendy bit, but it doesn't matter because I just want it to look a little bit, yeah, just brings the two things together there. Okay, so we can move all that aside and we'll call that page done. I don't think there's a lot we can do inside. I'm happy to leave that as a map. And maybe put another wee label-y thing. My squeaky chair when I reach for things. Right. That's a wee bit big. Got that wee label. What about that? I think I'm going to go for that. Is that a sticker? No. Sometimes you feel something and it looks and feels like it could be a sticker. There we are. I think that might be that. It's a hidden map, because that's what you used to do. You used to find hidden maps. Right, how are we looking? We've got this. And this. Yeah. I want to leave plenty room to do the little stories and things. We maybe type out or write something there. Okay, maybe do one more thing. What have we got? We've got that postcard thing. Will we do something with this for a pocket? There's a nice big side pocket. Here's one here. I think we'll just decorate this up. What time are we at? 42 minutes. Right, quick. Just a quick. Got another little... Look, the Flying Scotsman. And a wee bit of information on the back. Let's see. Maybe just a quick bit of collage, and then we'll just do what we did before and do some stamping over it to grunge it up. These could just go as is in a pocket. And one further back, here's one here. And it sticks up too much in there. Maybe put a bit of it in like that. In fact, we'll put a bit of it in like that. I've gone totally off where I started here, but we'll go back to that little collage. I just want to clip this with something. I've got a little mini paper clip. We can just clip that on. There, that's cute. Okay, where were those things? Did we leave them in the page that we were going to do? They were there. Yes, we were making it for this pocket. Okay, so let's move the book to there and just glue that down. Let's do the thing round the edge first. Make it look old and dusty, because that's what the professor is. He's old and dusty. Yes, another sunny day here. Who would have thought? This summer has actually been one of the best summers for a long time. I think it's to be sunny and dry all week. Not good for my crafty time, because then I think, oh no, let's just go to the park, or let's do something else other than sit in the room. Not that I don't love sitting in the room here and doing stuff, but you never know here where it's just going to flip to rain, and then that'll be it for wind and rain in autumn. And then frost, maybe some snow, maybe probably some sleet, lots of things until probably next April or May. There. And that's his picture of the Flying Scotsman taking centre stage, because although he loves maps, he loves trains as well. Right, let's just move that little bundle up there. So we're making something for the pocket. Yeah. Let's do some stamping. So I've still got my numbers. I think I'm going to put that, because that kind of fits with the train. Mighty Fine Travels. And I think we'll use the sepia to stamp for this one. Let's try and get the numbers the right way around. Okay, and maybe a coffee stain, because he's a messy pup. Let's get some paper to stamp on off the edge. And then one of those splodges . And maybe some of the script. Because he's left a little handwritten note. Yeah. Okay. And I think we'd probably do something here. There was a little Actually just covering that up with something else that's similar. Although we could get that on to the edge of that. I think we'll leave it there though for today. So we have made a mess on the desk. Lots of loose stamps. Inky fingers, that's the best kind of fingers to have. Maybe we could add, where was that last wee pocket there? So we've got our closure. Let's just make sure we don't need to add any wee clips or bits to these. I think a nice finishing touch would be one of these little mini clips. What about if we just clip them together? That's cute. Or we could put it on the actual pocket there. I like it there. Yeah. So we've done that. We've done his favourite quote, and we have got the opening out of the magical map and this little collage piece behind. Do we want anything on there? There's one of those little snap things which actually matches these dials here pretty good. I think we'll put one of that little snap. Where's a wee glue dot for that now? Where would the pokey tool be? Because it has been out. Then it's there. We'll lift a glue dot off of the roll. Just put that there. That's a nice finishing touch actually. Those black dials mimic the little half of the popper. So yeah, so we've got that, which I think it looks really good. And then there is the little, oh, we'll need to put something on the back of that. We'll just cut out a bit of map or something at some point. I thought I had a little bit of map, but I think I've used it all. Maybe what we could put on the back of that is the old, from May 9th, 1874. Maybe we'll put that on the back of it. We'll see. Don't have time today. So, and we've done this. We're in there. So yeah, so we've done a few bits and bobs. It all takes time, but I'm really happy with how it looks. And yeah. I just wanted to move it on a little bit today, because it had been a wee while, I think, since we picked out the pages, and I told you that this was going to be the next journal. So yeah, is this going to be a faff? No. Just put that through there like that. There, good. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Okay, so thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.